Okay, everyone. I see I can't see your faces anymore. But yeah, I think I can see a chat bot here. So if it's unclear or freezes or anything goes wrong, please do let me know. It's my first time using this particular technology, but I like to think I'm quite good with tech, so hopefully I'll be able to figure it out. So yeah, thanks everyone for now taking the time at least to look at what we do here at Drawbotics. My name is Dominic, and Drawbotics are a prop tech marketing company. So we work with developers to help them sell their developments off-plan, faster, and we'd like to say smarter. We've developed a few solutions. We offer a number of services, but we've developed a few solutions that really help developers do that in terms of helping them communicate their design and really engage with those potential buyers. So what I'll do now is just share my screen. Actually, no, So we've developed a few solutions. And yeah, firstly, one of those solutions is our Revo Unit Finder. We understand that when we're trying to sell off plan, I think as John said, a buyer can struggle to really visualize and understand the potential home before they're able to see it and walk through that home as they can with new build homes. So our Revo Unit Finder really helps a developer provide that potential buyer with an immersive and engaging experience so that they can explore that development and their home before that home's being completed. With regard to off-plan selling as well, we know that when we have, as you developers know, you'll tender for the job, tender for the land or win the land, you'll have the plans, you'll then build the story with the CGIs, the videos, and you create that story to sell off plan. It can then, whether you're selling on a construction site, I guess the agents will know, in a sales suite or in a show home, be that depending on which sort of potential buyer you're speaking to, you'll sometimes miss part of that story and miss part of that marketing collateral. Particularly that can be happening online at the moment with Zoom calls. And that's why we developed the digital marketing suite. The Drawbotics digital marketing suite essentially centralizes all of the marketing collateral, and that story that you have for that development enables you to easily tell and communicate that story to a potential buyer, whether it be in the show home, on the sales suite, or on the construction site. And it can also be done online with its own inbuilt video communication. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you one or two examples of those tools, and then show you a case study of how we use some of those tools with a developer who's also part of TrustedLand. Always keen to work with developers in TrustedLand, so please do, developers, agents, and everyone else, so please do feel free to reach out if anything's interesting. So I'll try and share my screen now. Let's hope this... So share my entire screen. And then we should now be looking at a video here. And let me just run that. Yep, here we go. So yeah, so here's our Revo Unit Finder. This particular example has been done on an eco project. It starts an interactive site plan. The developer can then drill onto that unit. And then from there, we go into a virtual tour. Now, all Revos will differ based on what that sort of development is. But the idea is, imagine if you're speaking with someone who's interested in buying that first off-plan property, but they can't see it, they're having these issues. With this kind of tool, all those doubts they might have, I wouldn't say eradicated, but it really helps you cross that line so that they can make that big decision. And again, these tools can be used on the phone on a construction site, in a show home, or online in a video call. Just jump to another example, a slightly bigger example. So again, here we can see a slightly different layout, not reflecting the exact sort of design of the setting. But here we can go to 3D floor plan. And I'm not sure if many developers here are using 3D floor plans, but we are seeing that today's buyers are liking them, because if you're not working in real estate, then 3D floor plan really helps you visualize what that unit's going to look like. And with 3D floor plans, we would say that you want to get good quality, because as you said before, no one wants to see bad quality visuals in 2020. And then again, with this development, a large part of this development were the views, and I'm sure a lot of you will have beautiful views in your developments. So again, Revo helps you display those views, whether you're in the sales suite, if you're online, just really helps you communicate the story and that brand in more detail. So that's the Revo. I'll quickly show you a quick snapshot of our digital marketing suite. This isn't a live version, we'll look at that in a moment, but this just gives you an understanding of the interface. So you can see here we've got information on the area, we've got information on the development, whether that be visuals, the 3D tour, and again, this tool can be used on a construction site, in wellies, looking through the visuals, looking through the tours. Also be used in video, so you can be at home with no distractions because it's a virtualized environment, or it can be in the sales suite. And one thing I would say is, although we do offer sort of CGIs and brochure services, we don't need to be the ones to deliver it. So if you've got your CGIs from a different supplier, we can take your story and we can put it into a digital marketing suite to help you tell that story. So yeah, so those are the two tools. I'll jump into an example of us doing, creating those services, but essentially with everything what we're trying to do to help our developers sell off plan is inspire, inform, engage, and really educate so that your off-plan buyers are making a much easier decision with the information you're providing. So our case study for today is Dock East. Developer London Green, like I said, is also a member of TrustedLand. And we first got in touch, I think, with London Green. It would have been as we were working on a separate project with their agent. We got in touch with them. It's actually going to be released or launched later this month, so I can't provide too much information on where the project is now. But they had their marketing collateral. You can see they had very high quality visuals. They had a website, they had a brand, they really had a story. But after speaking with us, they felt that some of our tools would help them tell that story to an audience, no matter what the environment is, and in a much more engaging way. So let's look at how we did that. Here you can see their Revo in the sales suite. And like I said before, they had their story, and with all of our tools, we had to just really help them communicate that story. So we can see here their physical model. We decided that we'd make the digital model in the exact same style so that when you went to that sales suite, if you'd already seen the digital model, you can then go and see the physical model, and it just creates that continuity across that story. So again, helping the developer create that desire for your units to become their homes. Let's jump in and look at what that Revo looks like. So here we can see what the Revo actually looks like. Very easy to use. Based in Canary Wharf, so we've got the sort of water effect there. And what the sales agent's able to do, or the sales team are able to do, when they have someone walk into the office, they understand the requirements. Firstly, the agent's going to be able to really understand the project a lot easier because of this kind of tool. Then they can also communicate the development a lot easier to the buyer. So here we've got, unlike the other two Revos we saw, we see a 2D floor plan, and this floor plan is in line with the same sort of branding that we'll see in the brochure, or what they have in the brochure. And so you can see that here. So that's the Revo, and the Revo, like I said, is going to start on the sales suite. It's then going to be able to go onto the website at the correct time, and once it's on the website, we then sort of move on to another section of our services, which is the insights. And I won't dwell too deep onto this insight section. But it's a very unique sort of tool and something we're really excited about. At present, we know a lot of developers will be tracking their leads on Excel or an out-of-the-box CRM not designed for new build sales. They might be tracking their sales process on Excel, and these spreadsheets, based on the technology that's developed today, based on insights, that's no longer a necessity. So what a developer can do here, firstly, we can track all the leads, whether they're coming from a Revo or if they're coming from the website. We can see the deals and the process, and let me just jump onto those screens. So here, for example, like we saw on the Revo before, once that's on the website, the developer will be able to see which units are getting the most visits, the most interest, how long those units are getting visits for. And what this means is, with regards to marketing and pricing, they have a little bit more information to adjust or amend the strategies. Here we can see an example of the CRM dashboard. And again, you don't really want an out-of-the-box CRM. If you're in real estate, you want one specifically for new build developments. And likewise, you don't really want to be using Excel and filling an Excel spreadsheet all the time when you've got data visualizations like this that help you just see your information and make decisions and identify trends. And again, this can be used for larger developments, but it also works very well with much smaller developments, and it's definitely a very cost-effective solution. So now let's jump onto a video of the digital marketing suite, and this is from the video capability. So if you're presenting, this is what you'll see. If it's on the phone or the iPad, we'll just see this sort of angle. But here we can see some of the functionality. I'll just click here. We can see with the video, I know a lot of us will be using Zoom. We'll start to see some of the functionality you don't have on things such as Zoom. So here, the buyer is speaking to the potential seller, and now I want to present my projects, and now I want to focus solely on my projects. Because this is a virtually hosted environment, unlike Zoom or Teams, I'm not going to have to switch tabs. I'm going to be able to keep this conversation in this one environment, so there'll be no distractions. I mean, we might have dogs and kids in the background, but there'll be no pop-ups or distractions of that sort, at least anyway. And again, here we can see, as we just look through the various parts of the story or the marketing collateral, how we can easily and quickly navigate. Again, this can be done online, in the sales suite, or on the construction site on a mobile phone. And it really helps you educate and show these sort of potential buyers what they're buying into. Here you can see some examples of our interior CGIs. This particular example is all visuals that we've produced in-house, but again, we can also use visuals that you've already had created. I'll just jump ahead here. We can see some more exterior CGIs to another one of the features that is quite useful. And let's go here. So now we're on another tour, again, one we've created, but we can do this with Matterport. I think I'd bring the faces back in here, because if anyone has done a Matterport tour on Zoom or Teams the last few weeks or months, you'll really appreciate this functionality. We can share the screen. I'm sharing control here, so you can see I'm no longer walking through this Matterport or this tour, and I've let the buyers go through and explore the tour on the call with me, all in this centralized environment. And that makes such a big difference in terms of the conversation you're having when you're able to give control over it. It means you're not just projecting the message over to them. It gives them a chance to really explore individually. And it's these kind of experiences that makes that difference, so that once they have looked at your project and a number of other projects, yours will be a project they remember. And then I'll just quickly show you what it looks like from the user screen. So this is a bit more cluttered, because if I'm a potential buyer, this is what I'll see. But you can see, presented by Dominic. We'll jump forward. Here we go. And very clear, very clean. This is how we'll navigate. We're not looking at new pages. It's just a very easy touch of the button, and we're moving on to new parts of the story. So you can really help that potential buyer understand your project before that project's being constructed. So I don't think I've gone on too long there, but maybe I have slightly. But yeah, that's essentially what I wanted to show you. I hope you found it interesting. And for developers and agents, always keen to understand how you think technology can help you improve. And if you are developing, do you think, based on how technology is advancing, are you making the use of that technology? And if you were to increase your off-plan sales, what kind of impact would that have on your business? Thank you very much. And I see, so I'm in presenter mode, and